I'm going live. I am sorry, I keep lowering it. I'm going currently in a little town outside of Erie, PA. My kids are taking the SSAT this weekend, and yeah, that's kind of exciting. Um, I'm coming on here because of a dream I had. So gather around, family and friends, gather around. Let me fix the camera. And we are ready. Okay, I'm just gonna look down at my notes because I had to document this dream. This dream happened this morning, and shortly after, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go live. And then I was like, okay, but this thing that I want to tell everybody about, I'd never put into a website. So I made the website. I did the about me. I did the mission statement. I did all of the things that a website needs. I got a little distracted. We did a little bit of studying, and now I am here to tell you my dream. So my dream, I the beginning was totally different from the part that actually like woke me up. At some point in the dream, I ended up in like a hospital setting where I was with a doctor and I was in a surgical tech role. If you know me, back in 2008 when I graduated from high school, I went to community college in Niagara Falls and I was in the surgical tech program. In the dream, I was like someone was asked like, can someone do the surgical tech portion so that we can do the surgery on this person's knee. It was kind of an emergency situation. It wasn't like a zombie apocalypse, but it was kind of like a situation where we weren't in like a surgery room. We were in like someone's basement, sort of. Someone was already performing surgery on someone else, and we were just like adjusting this person on this table that was on wheels, that was not able to like stay still, and she kind of needed me to just know what I was doing. So the doctor is ready to start. She's putting down all the things on the knee so that she could get started. I'm like washing my hands. I see like the little kit where you scrub your hands as surgical tech, because your hands are supposed to be sterile, like everything's supposed to be clean. And for some reason, I skip it. I'm like thinking like, should I use that or is that the doctor's? Because there was only one. And then I got some sterile gloves and I started coming over to hand her the stuff. Um, but at some point, I got distracted by something, and I was like looking at the other surgery happening, and everything was kind of confusing me. But for some reason, I wasn't speaking up. I kept looking back at the doctor, and the doctor was not stopping. The doctor was nonstop doing the surgery. At this point, she was doing it without me. And um, by the time I had like gathered myself and stopped thinking about, should I have done that part? Should I have done this? Like things are flying everywhere. Like things are on the gloves that I'm trying to put on. And so I'm like touching stuff that I shouldn't be touching with these sterile gloves. And by the time I get over to help her with the surgery, she's done. She's done with the surgery and she left. So it just felt like another time where I had the opportunity to do what I wanted to do what I was good at, and I just decided to just lollygag. And that's important. That dream was important because this morning, last night I decided to get up early and do gratitude every morning, like just start doing writing gratitude every morning live on my YouTube channel because I don't have space on my computer to edit videos that I have. And I'm traveling a lot. So when I get to New York City area, I will be able to um, edit more and upload more consistent. Like I'll be able to upload the next video. And I also um, have a PO box over there. So if you send mail, I will get it. And if you want to send mail, the PO box information is in the description below. We could just do pen pals or whatever if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. But I had to come live after realizing I did not get up at 5 a.m. this morning to do the gratitude things. And I wanted to do it at 5 a.m. this morning because I wanted to get back into the rhythm of um, getting up early and just getting the stuff out of the way versus like trying to cram it all while I have to homeschool or do anything else that I'm doing, and just have the day a little more organized. And before I decided to come live for this to tell my dream, I scrolled online and I saw someone talking about a book that put everything all together. Like my entire idea and message and thought and all of my projects. That's why I threw a bunch of the project like logos on this thumbnail. And the book was called Afro Pessimism by Frank B. Wilderson III. The creator's name is Zinawina, Zinaaweena. She was in that debate with Candace Owens and like other people. I think she was debating. No, I don't think she was in there. Excuse me. In the book, I want to explain what she explains that the book explains. I ordered the book right after she explained all of this because I'm like, oh my God, nail on the head. In this book, he explains that society is set up by Black objection. So, like, white supremacy is upheld by the objection and the, not just the, not like, not just the, like, excuse me, not just like dehumanizing Black people, but objecting to Blackness, right? And this includes the need for people to understand the standards of whiteness and consider Blackness the antithesis. So they had to create this complete opposite culture for Black people, and for some reason it was easy to convince them. Maybe it wasn't easy because when I asked my aunt, who's like in her late 60s, what her childhood was like, she says it was beautiful. And granted, she married an older man who she didn't know how old he was. Apparently, she didn't know how old he was. She said when he died, she looked at his death certificate and it said it was 89. And she was like, what? Because I think she was in her 30s when he was 89, dying. Or late, maybe early 40s. Anyways, because it's been a while, like since I was a kid. But in the book, it also speaks about the book mentioning Black people's experience with violence and how it's something that we never have to earn. It kind of comes for free. Like you kind of get violence for free when you're a Black person. You don't have to do anything specific. It's honestly often unprovoked, and that gratuitous or that large amount of violence kind of helps create a distinction between Black people and white people. And I thought that was so mind blowing because I could never really put it into words. But this author studied, or he was in South Africa during apartheid. I didn't read his full biography yet because I ordered the book and I just want to read the book and I just want to get the information from that instead of giving half information. But the part that made me go live was when the creator mentioned that the author mentioned that the society needs Black objection to sustain itself, like to, and well, she used the example of wealth needing poverty to exist, and these distinctions are what keep society going. So you're constantly chasing this thing that you think you want because of emotions, or somebody told you like this is an indicator of wealth, or this will make you happier, or this will make you feel more grounded, when really all you have to do is just go ground. But listening to that made me feel a sense of responsibility to just be myself, because I never really wanted to. I was raised Catholic, so I was not really raised by my parents. I was with my father, yes, but I wasn't really raised. I kind of got to make it all up myself. So when my cousins would come over, the ones that like needed a place to stay, when they came over, I would make up a whole school environment for them. Like I made a newspaper for them a week. I made them join my girl group, singing group. I would force them to do things. Like we would just be having fun, but it would be my version of fun because I was the oldest in the house. And I would never just give them violence. It was never the case that I would be the person that was like, okay, now it's time to fight. Unless someone's earned it. And just being that way, being or not going with the tide or with the flow of what is supposed to be so that we can uphold white supremacy or uphold Black oppression is good. It's a great thing for society. Um, but publicly doing it as a descendant of slaves, not like I'm not an immigrant, I'm not second generation or anything like that, or third generation. Even though people reject me, because some people call me what, white passing and things like that, which is interesting. Um, I just want to be a voice that encourages others to stop the social agreement um, that holds up whiteness and makes blackness look bad. And I don't mean like you need to be less black. I mean you need to be more appreciative of who you are and consider it something that aligns with success if you're not a terrible person that's just handing out violence and ignorance and hate towards your own people, even if you disagree with them for no reason. There's a girl who is calling churches in her area. Actually, she's calling churches in all areas and asking them if they would give her some baby formula for her baby, even though she doesn't have a baby. It's just a social experiment. A lot of the churches said no. And I think the Buddhist churches, the Muslim churches, the Catholic churches said yes. But the others that were like in between Christian and other things, I don't think she's tried a satanic place yet, but all of them have said like, no, we don't do that. There's the food bank is closed, or the food bank doesn't offer these things. And these are the people that are supposed to be the moral high ground and upholding society in ways that keep everybody together or build community and things of that nature, and they're just not. uh they say they are, but now that they've been faced with the actual question of their how moral they are, they're failing. And when you're given the opportunity to do something that could put you in the light or in alignment with success, are you just saying no thank you? Because that is, and if you're black, that is literally upholding white supremacy. If you're holding yourself back, self-sabotaging yourself, deciding that you don't need success, you don't need this, you don't need that, you unfortunately are upholding BS. And for me specifically, I remember I was doing a lot of stuff and, success was inevitable, but I was just like, for what? That's what I would always think. For what? For what? Be successful for what? To have a mansion, to have a nice car, to what? Have a nice wardrobe, for what? Like, what's the point? That's how I always felt. And so I just assigned something. I just assigned that I will aim to send 12 kids, including my own. And this is the operations that I'm running have less to do with my children, more to do with the children that exist outside of my children, because my children are good. But to send them to private education, and not only private education, but boarding school for junior high and up. And I chose that as my mission because that means that I will have to do or add a lot of value, because boarding school is not cheap. I would know. That's the test that my kids are going to go take this weekend it's like there's an entry exam called the SSAT, and it's very interesting. I actually just created my entire homeschool model off of the SSAT, and I mean, honestly, we've been doing very well. Um, all that to say, you can check out the link in the link below on that project that I'm doing. You can't donate or anything. Um, I'd have to actually add value to you. You can't just donate. But I have decided that we should no longer hold up those social constructs. And that was the point of this video. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 a.m. to do gratitude. Be ready, have your journal. I'm not going to be talking. I'm just going to tell you what we're doing, like I'm telling you right now. And then we will do that for 30 minutes straight. Write in your gratitude journal what you're grateful for. You can write your goals. You can do what you want to do for today, the day, or the week, or the month. It's really just a planning time every day at 5 a.m. I'm going to aim for the next 10 days to start. because I won't be here that long. I'm actually moving a little more east, and then I'll be staying there for a couple of months. And we'll talk then. And I'm also bringing back the podcast Where in the World is Jimmy Alice. Excited about that. And yeah, I don't think I have any more updates. I'm like, y'all should get into tech. Not like as a career, but reading material. I will have more blogs up. I've even decided to print some of them, like do a print blog, like a magazine sort of, hardcover. And I'll be talking about that later, another date. But that's really all I wanted to say. It's been nice catching up. Whoever's watching. All right, later.